Welcome to Boot Hill Bounties. For those unaware, this is the sequel to Boot Hill Heroes, one of the first games I actually covered on the channel. This game comes out on December 15th. I have an advance copy to showcase some things, and one of the things I was torn about was whether or not I should actually use my old save data or not from Boot Hill Heroes. Because you do get to carry stuff over, but I was thinking some of you may be coming into this fresh. I don't know if that's really recommended, but if you are, I'm thinking I'm just going to do this as a vanilla game. So right now my throat is a little sore, so I don't know how well I'm going to be able to clearly explain things, but you can play this without the save data, and I'm thinking, depending on if there's like a lot of missable stuff, I can go ahead and do another run-through with the actual carryover data. One of the things is, in Boot Hill Heroes, I didn't actually go back and do a lot of the side quests. Like, you have to remember your quest starts out to get money for your mother, and since I'm such a wonderful son, I never actually went back to deliver said money. So, there's quite a few things I didn't do that I could do on another round. I don't know if some of the fights were changed, like the lion and stuff, but like, there is some merit to going back, I'd say. And depending on how this plays out, I may go back and do another playthrough of both. So we're going to do this vanilla. Boot Hill Bounties begin. I actually don't know how you carry over your save data either. So here we are. We have our Green River weapon. We have our Knickerbockers for armor. It's time to plan our next move. Let's all meet at Ghost Rock tomorrow night. Rosie. And then you can't examine the fire or anything. And I accidentally examined that again. I was wondering if they hit anything over there, but let's pull up our menu so we can equip our stuff. So this is the Green River knife. We have our Stetson hat. Knickerbockers give us a little bit more protection. We have no trappings, trinkets, whatever you want to call that exactly. In terms of advantages, we have smash, dodge. What the? I don't know what this one is. Chance to stagger target, high accuracy, 100% stagger. As for tackle, heavy damage, 25% chance to stagger. Physical damage. And then dodge is your usual defensive advantage, where you get to try to evade. So the whole all-or-nothing, I don't even know how you want to describe it. The all-or-nothing aspects of battle are still in, as far as I can tell. So for Greenhorn, there are various ranks tied into new side quests to the game, and we'll probably increase that as we go. So we have our various stats. We start at level 12. I don't remember what level I was at the end of Heroes. So anyway, Rusty is leading us to Ghost Rock, and you'll get to see some of the changes immediately. Can we walk across this? Okay, Rusty won't let us go. Careful, kid. It's Doc. They say Ghost Rock stirs something in the wildlife here. That coyote looks poised to attack. So notice the new art? Before we didn't have anything like that, it was just a box at the top. And all of the major players are supposed to have that. Kid. Don't panic. I've seen you take on deadlier animals than this coyote, like a lion, for example. But if you need a competent explanation, I'm here to remind you how this works. So yeah, we'll do the tutorial. Let's start with an overview of what we're looking at here. Here is your enemy, this menacing coyote. This red bar represents the coyote's health. If you can pummel it down to nothing, then the beast will calm down. That's how you win fights. This blue bar represents the coyote's power. Power is spent to perform actions in battle called vantages. Normally, power gradually fills up in real time. I have things paused at the moment. Here's your own health bar. You have full health. And here's your own power bar. Power usually starts at 0 and can build up to a maximum of 10. Unless there's an unusual effect in play, everyone's power generates at the same rate. These 4 words here, smash, dodge, beagle bay, and tackle, are called vantages. These are the actions you can use in this fight. These numbers here at the end show the power cost for each vantage. Notice that the cost is different. As you might guess, the more powerful or useful vantages cost more power to use. So by useful, they mean some of these can inflict status effects and other things to help, so just keep that in mind. Also, each vantage has its own smaller blue bar under it. This is just to show you how close you are to having enough power to execute each vantage depending on the cost of the vantage. While your bigger blue bar at the bottom shows how much power you have relative to 10, the maximum amount of power you can have. Try using the vantage smash, it's a simple attack using your hand weapon. Press A to select smash, and then A again to confirm your target. So I was planning on dodging, but okay. So executing smash costs 3 vantage points, but since you only have 3 points, this charging menu is brought up. If you had enough power, the action would simply execute when you chose it. I'm going to unpause the battle so your power can charge. Once your power is charged to 3, you'll automatically spend it to execute smash, so keep in mind you can cancel that if you want to. Your smash attack has damaged the coyote. See, some of its health is gone. You don't have to wait until you have enough power to choose your vantages. If you have enough power, you'll execute the attack. Then you'll enter that charging menu. If not, then you'll enter that charging menu. Let's wait a moment and see what the coyote does now. Now the coyote hit you with his attack scratch and you lost some health. Don't worry, you still got plenty left. So you see this little blinking sliver here on the coyote's power bar? This indicates the power cost for the vantage the coyote is planning next. Once the coyote's power bar fills up to this point, the coyote will execute this vantage. Right now, we don't know what vantage the coyote is planning, though we can sort of gauge how dangerous it will be based on the power cost. The farther to the right this little sliver is, the higher the power cost and the more dangerous the vantage to you. Given that the entire bar represents a maximum of 10 power, I'd say just from eyeballing it here that the sliver is at the 4 power mark. I've seen a lot of fighting in my day, and the most important tip I can give you is to keep an eye on when your enemies are going to attack. That's the key to surviving out here. But you're not helpless against this incoming attack. You can use dodge to try to evade the attack. Go ahead and execute the dodge vantage now. Now you have the dodging stance active. Stances are conditions that last for a while. In this case, dodge will cause you to automatically attempt to evade physical attacks coming your way. But this does not mean you will always succeed. This is what I meant by the all-or-nothing battle system. Your success rate depends on a number of factors, including your dexterity and the accuracy of the attack you are dodging. The coyote will soon execute his attack. If you succeed, you'll see the word dodge in big letters. If you fail, you'll see stumble. You'll also see the percent that shows what your success rate was. So they won't let me take the move now. So the seeing the percentage is actually new. So we had an 88% chance we still stumbled. Your dodging stance will continue to last for a while, and you'll automatically attempt to dodge any other physical attacks from enemies. But it will fade away after a bit. In that case, you can just activate it again. It's up to you how you want to spend your power. Dodging is useful because not only do you avoid damage, you cause an enemy to waste all their power spent on their attack. But dodge isn't the only stance you'll learn. You'll learn many more, and they are not all about evading attacks. Let's wait and see what the coyote does next. So he's going to do something small. So he's dodging now. Now it looks like the coyote is dodging. Now he'll automatically attempt to dodge all of your attacks. One option is you can just ignore it and hope his dodge fails against your attacks. I don't recommend that more often than not. Or you can wait for it to wear off, which is what I recommend. Or you can use Beagle Bay. Beagle Bay has a particular advantage which can cause an enemy to stagger. Stagger is a status element that makes the target unable to use stances, including dodge. But Beagle Bay costs 2 power and causes no actual damage. Then again, that may be better than using a power attack like Smash and Missing. It's a tough call. This is what it's all about, kid. Victory is determined by deciding what vantage to use and when to use it. But in this case, I want you to use Beagle Bay so you can see how it works. So, Rusty jumped into the fray? Beagle Bay worked, and now the Coyote is staggering. He is no longer dodging and won't be able to use dodge or any other stances until he stops staggering, which will be after a bit. So I don't remember them wobbling in the previous game, but that may have been something, I'm not sure. Even though Beagle Bay didn't cause any damage like Smash, it was useful. See, if you know what your vantages do, you can best decide when to use them. You can press Y to get a description of what a vantage does. Give it a try and see what and check tackle. There, now you can see a description of the tackle vantage at the bottom. Heavy melee damage, 25% chance to stagger. There's a lot more I could teach you, but it looks like you've got the brass tacks of combat. Just remember, the secret to winning battles is understanding what actions do and when you should use each action. So keep an eye on your power bars to see when battle participants are going to execute advantages. As for the rest, I'm confident a smart kid like you can figure it out along the way. Oh, one more thing. You can pause and unpause the battle clock here by pressing X. Well, it is paused, time will not pass and power bars will not fill up. But you can still choose your vantages and targets. You might want to do this when things get rough so you can carefully plan your strategy. Then when you're ready, just press X to unpause the battle clock. It's a good idea to pause the battle clock and plan your strategy often if you're in a really difficult battle. So there are supposed to be puzzle bosses in this game, just a heads up. I've been pausing the battle clock a lot during this tutorial. So for your last task, press X to unpause the battle clock. Then I'll let you continue fighting this coyote on your own. And if you want to try the tutorial again, just ask Rusty. So I thought he wasn't supposed to use that. So we'll put up our own dodge. We did dodge. Let's smash him. So keep in mind you can sit here and let this fill up. I recommend doing that from time to time. Just hide behind your dodge. And then we can tackle. So try to activate it right before he attacks. There you go. Generally you can block 2 attacks if you time these correctly. And good night. So if you don't know, your advantages are determined by what hat you wear. If you load your data from the first game, you're supposed to have a bunch of hats already, basically all the stuff you got from the first game. The thing is, hats have changed here. They're more like job classes than in the previous game. As far as I know, you can still learn all the attacks off of them over time, and then you can kind of like mix and match from what I understand, but I'm not 100% sure on that. It's just be aware that the hat system is a little bit different. And then if you didn't load the hats from the first game, there's supposed to still be ways to get them. So that's one of those things I wanted to test just in case you're coming in fresh. Anyway, the coyote slinks off to survive another day. So we got an A grade, which doubles our vantage points. We got 180 XP. Not enough to level up, though. But looks like the Stetson is going to level up. Kid Stetson is now level 2. Unlock the Vantage Kick. Power cost 2, weak physical damage. So we could replace Advantage with Kick, but I like the stuff I have. Kid. Looks like you got Rosie's letter too. A former doctor who came out west to practice medicine, but found only tragedy. He joined the Boot Hill Posse to bring down the Saints' Little Gang, but his ideals clashed with Sheriff Howell's. Doc's regret over allowing the Saints' Little Gang to escape has consumed him for 10 years, turning him into a grim bounty hunter. But will Doc's obsession with vengeance cause him to destroy what little good remains? Then, in case you don't know who Sheriff Howell is, that's Kid's father. I first met Kid in Swellsville when that card shark, Monty Spade, swindled the boy out of a week's pay. Couldn't talk Kid out of messing with a member of the Saints Little gang, so we agreed to follow Monty Spades together into the Whisker Woods. That's when Kid overheard the truth about the attack on Ashwood. The Saints Little gang here were the real culprits, and they framed the Chipawik. Chipawik being the local Indian tribe. But why did the Saints Little gang come out of hiding after 10 years to frame the Indians? Didn't have a chance to speculate on that. We got separated when Kid pursued Monty Spades alone down the Snaketail River. Look at that. Sun's coming up and Rosie and Moon still aren't here. So that's Kid's art. Kid, as far as I know, is a silent protagonist. You get to choose what he says. Could be in danger. We can't do this alone. This could have been a trap. We don't need them. Could be in danger. Saints Little gang are out there. By now, word has spread about Monty Spades, and no doubt they'll come after us. They could have gotten to Moon and Rosie. Then there ain't no time to waste. Let's move. So now we have Doc. Anyway, for the Vantages, we can always swap out the stuff, as far as I know. So if you want to pick up Kick, you can go ahead and still swap it in. Don't be afraid to just say, okay, I don't need this now, but there may be something later on that'll make it good. As for Doc, we have Blast. Normal range attack with a big gun. Pump gradually increases the damage of your next single-shot big gun attack. Barrage, 4 to 8 weak damage shots. Then Cold Cock, chance to stun the target, high accuracy, 100% stagger. So I don't think I loaded my data because I think I actually had Doc using this exact setup. It's possible they managed to not have me with my hat yet. So we have the Hawken Rifle. So 13579, I don't know what those actually mean. As for the Fedora, level 1 Vantage, Blast, Pump, Barrage, Coldcock, and then you get various ones for leveling up. Dusty flat-brimmed hat worn by men with no names. And he's wearing an Inverness. Stat-wise, he's level 12. His rank is Bones. So Doc's thing is he eventually learns medicine stuff. He can heal your wounds, and I know he can revive you during battle if you have the right Vantage. Basically, he does live up to his name as Doc. So let's grab this apple. One of the things you want to do is pick up stuff off the ground. Sometimes you can eat it, like this apple. I noticed they classified it as an ingredient because there is a cooking system in this game that was not present in the first one. Sometimes you can pick up flowers and stuff, so I'm kind of curious what all you can grab. Let's see if we can pick a fight with this rabbit. Look out, kid. These rabbits mean business. Your party starts with extra power for getting the jump on these enemies. So I'm going to tackle because it looks like they're going to do defensive Vantages. They'll let us pass now. So grade S, triple Vantage points, 56 XP. And they dropped a pelt. Notice that was classified as a reagent. There you are. Sorry, I got tired of waiting for Doc to finish his story and I wandered off. Found some things around here that you might find useful, but you have to do something for me first. Rusty has given you a new challenge. Read a challenge. So this is another new thing to the game where he gives you various quests. There, I just gave you a fiendish challenge that you must complete before I give you anything. I'll just rest here until you solve it. Good luck, kid. So, push start to open the pause menu, and there's a couple new things here. You can see how you control Kid, Doc, and so on, keyboard or controller. Didn't know there was actually a battle difficulty thing. I'm going to leave that on normal. If I do a new game plus or load my old data, I could probably go up to hard. So, Vantage History. Okay. Not entirely sure what that would be used for, but we'll see. That might be related to, like, puzzle fights and stuff. Anyway, Rusty's challenges. Read a challenge. Your first challenge is to access the pause menu and read this challenge. In fact, by reading this right now, you just completed the challenge. Good job. What? You finished already? Well, a deal's a deal. Here's what I promised. So he gave us the moccasins trapping. Thought you'd have more trouble with that challenge. But don't worry. That was the first of many challenges I'm picking up for you. Whenever I think of a new challenge, I'll send you a message at the bottom of the screen. Oh, I just thought of some. So, start. You can see the details for each challenge and keep track of which ones you've completed in Rusty's Challenges menu. Whenever you complete a challenge, come see me and I'll give you the treats that I find. But why am I making you do this? Well, dog owners have been making their dogs do tricks and rewarding them with treats for ages. Maybe I just get some sick thrill out of seeing our roles reversed. Knowing what your advantages do is the key to winning the battle. Why is considered the Inquire button. Try pressing that when your cursor is pointing to advantage in battle. I've already showed you that one. Talk to me, Rusty, to save your game, just like in the first game. You should do this often. Don't just rely on the autosave feature. Save your game to complete the challenge. Didn't even know there was an autosave feature. Back in Sasune, been sniffing around for Moon and Rosie, and I think I picked up their scent. They're definitely nearby. I saved your game. Found this thing. Maybe it's something you can use. So give us a medkit. Okay, so we'll pull up the challenge first. You probably know several ways to heal a wound. If Doc knows the cure, he can treat it at camp. Or you can find another doctor like Doc Finch, and he can treat the wound for a price, and Doc will learn the new treatment himself. Finally, you can simply wait for the wound to heal on its own. But there's still one more way to remove a wound from a character, and that is by using a medkit from your inventory. When a character uses a medkit, it removes their most recent wound immediately. Easy, right? The downside is medkits are not free, and it's better for Doc to treat wounds so he can gain a rank in doctoring. But when you are in a jam and want to get rid of a wound right away, use a medkit. So complete this challenge by using a medkit. As he said, those are not free, so I actually want to hold off on that one. So for Vantage description, does it have to be in battle, I wonder? Because I can... Oops. Materials... Yeah, looks like it does have to be battle. So what do the moccasins do again? Start with 50% power. It's better than nothing. So we have a new type of rabbit here, and just aggroed. And it's faster than me. No! This family of hares is challenging us for this territory. So one of the things I liked about the game is a lot of these enemies have unique lines that they say. So keep in mind, Doc can't dodge. This is not a defensive stance. He's just trying to charge up. So we're going to tackle this one first. Critical! KO! So notice the one is jumping. Kick me. Oh well. I think we made it in time. Ooh, double nibble. So yeah, we'll do Beagle Bay. Okay, they die in one hit. I thought they had a little bit more tenacity. The rabbits agree to let you pass. So B rank... I don't know what this is exactly. Oh, okay, so... There are rewards you get in battle for doing different things. These are all the ones Kid got. And these are the ones that Doc got. So they actually tell you what these are. Doc only used range attacks. Kid only used unarmed attacks. Kid only used melee attacks. So Sky Twinkle is when you defeat an enemy with a critical hit. You got to see how it just went off into the distance, playing a Team Rocket type thing. Kid never missed an opponent trying to evade. Kid did twice as much damage as the second biggest damage dealer. Kid got the most bonus points in the party. Kid got twice as many bonus points as the person in second place. So I don't know if that's Vantage EXP or Level EXP. It's Vantage. So the Stygian here dropped a pelt, but not a Stygian pelt or anything. So let's grab the shroom. Swellsville's to the west, Ghost Rocket's to the north, and east is Snaketail River. So I think this is something else we can... Okay, it's flickering, so that means yes. How do we get over? There we go. So a beak. And a bean. I was barking at that funny white rabbit, now it's back to fight with its friends. Okay, the one on the left is dodging. The one on the right is most likely going to hit us with something. Wasn't too bad, I guess. So I should point out when you have your advantages selected, it does speed up in filling it. The roans have scattered. One bothers no more. So it's basically just the game picking up its speed. It's not actually, it's not just giving you free stuff. So the thing I'm wondering right here is this a negative? Because they have the same. Got a bone and a whisker. Hey, over here. What happened to the bridge? Chapakwick took it out yesterday. Sorry, it'll take me a couple days to fix it. Why did Chapakwick destroy the bridge? We're a ways from the valley. Any reason there would be hostile Chapakwick in this area? Couldn't tell you. My only job is to maintain this bridge to Swellsville. I'm keeping me and my kin out of this bickering with the Indians. Have you seen Rosie? We're looking for a girl with red hair. Have you seen her around? You mean Rosie? Yeah, she's hunkering with my kin on this side until I can get this bridge repaired. Cabin's just a bit southeast of here, but you'll have to find a way across. Have you seen Moon? You said that Chapakwick destroyed this bridge. Was there a girl with them? A squaw, huh? Not likely. These look like fighting bugs to me. Is there another way to cross the river? Maybe if you follow along the beach there, you can find a way across. Don't have any more questions. Good luck to you, folks. Toggle vantage info. Have a second player join. So real quick, I do want to do a little bit of a sweep to make sure there isn't anything I'm missing. Now, I don't actually know how you bring in player 2 for this. Let's actually look real quick. Game supports local co-op, no online one. It's Wild West after all. To complete this challenge, you must assign a character to a different input device. Go to the pause menu and change the input device for a character. It's not possible. Okay. So we will turn this on. Okay, so that actually counted. Now the thing is, you do have to go over to Rusty to actually collect your stuff. Scorpion down there looks a little dangerous. Looked like someone we could use. Oh well. Can we fight the fish? So technically we can, it's just I don't know how you actually reach it. Huh. We need to make a note to come back here and fight that fish. Doesn't like the cut of our jib. There's Moon! Moon Dancer. There you are. Behind you. These seagulls think we're competing for the fish here. So, let's go over her stuff real quick. Archery, normal range damage from a bow. Moonlight, which is her big move, the most important one. Recovers some HP of a party member. So she has dodge, but she doesn't have Sundance at the moment. Evasion stance, and then Lunar Crush is her big one. Medium mental damage on all targets. So anyway, we are going to tackle this one. We will start pumping here. And for Moon, I don't want a Lunar Crush, but we can cancel this later. Okay, they're starting to get close. So we're going to put up dodge, we're going to put up dodge. We will hold off on having Moon attack, because I don't know if Doc's going to kill that one bird. Like that. So she's staggered. We'll have her finish that off. So he's going to dodge, most likely. Let's do Moonlight on Moon. We'll do Beagle Bay. So it's flying, it'll evade melee, but not ranged. So there's nothing Kid can do at the moment, so we're just going to have him sit on the side, but Doc and Moon can still shoot him. Gotta wait for him to come down before Kid can do stuff. Definitely have to say I like Beagle Bay. You get to call Rusty in on the action. And it missed? Okay, it's on the ground. And good night. Seagulls flew away to find a new source of food. B rank. So she got self-preservation. Moon used healing only on self. Eager Beaver. Moon never used an attack that they had enough power for, so she was always channeling. So that's actually kind of interesting. You get a bonus for doing that. Perfect dodge. Doc avoided every attack, even though I never put a defensive stance on him or anything. So you get Bounty. Cost 4. Regain power if this attack defeats the target. So they don't say if it's ranged or anything, that's the thing. Cold Cock and Stun, that's pretty helpful if they're building up for something big. I think I'm probably going to get rid of Barrage for the time being. So we now have Tumble, successfully evade a physical attack but lose all remaining power and drop the stance. So that's why I don't really want to replace Dodge with that. It's basically like avoiding at all costs. Dropped a White Feather. A rebellious Chipawkwik princess who defied the orders of her father and abandoned her tribe in order to follow a path she believes in. Moon Dancer has a strong independent will that causes conflict between her obligations to her people and her own convictions. She possesses both a warrior spirit and a sage's deep reverence for nature. But will she be able to face the consequences of her headstrong decisions when those who depend on her are harmed? I found Kid washed up near the Chipawkwik Valley after his encounter with Monty Spades. He explained to me that the Saints Little gang was responsible for the attack and were framing the Chipawkwik. I brought Kid to my father to explain the situation. However, there was a lot of discussion about what the Chipawkwik should do. Led by our medicine man's prophecy, many Chipawkwik were eager for war, while others hoped he could clear our name and find peace. I snuck out of my village with Kid, determined to meet with his people despite the orders of my father. We nearly died in the Desert of Fools Feast. Thankfully, we were picked up by a traveling circus. However, in exchange for transportation, we agreed to assist for the show. I was trying to listen to the river, but you two make so much noise it's no wonder the animals get so disturbed by your presence. We were waiting all night at Ghost Rock while you were here listening to the river. Don't you know that the Chipawkwik would destroy the bridge? I know. I was hoping the river could tell me why my people would do this. What did the river say? Well, a river has a mouth, so therefore can't it talk? It speaks incessantly. The water exclaims as it crashes against every rock and twig. I listen to these arguments and learn. But today it sounds different. Better than just asking a person? People can only reveal truth as they see it. But Otankwa, the great voice from the earth, shows us pure truth. There. Look. There are logs caught in the waterfall. They're creating new conversations with the water. That's why the Snaketail River sounds different today. This must have something to do with why the Chipawkwik destroyed the bridge. We might be able to use that old tree to cross the river. Let's keep moving. We still haven't found Rosie. Second player, open menu. See what a bonus does. Okay, this one's gonna be a little tricky because I don't know what the controls are to open the menu. Even with multiple players, it's not a chore. Each player can open a character simultaneously. They can navigate their own menus while the lead is walking through the party. Don't believe me? Give it a try. And then, yeah, this is what I showed you already, so you can check what the bonuses do for different things. Some good, some bad, some weird. Mostly for fun, but they help you understand battles a little bit better. So when the bonus menu is open, you can actually use A to see it. So I don't know what button it is that opens the menu, so I'm literally pushing every key in sequence. Okay, it looks like C. Thought I was sitting on a rock, and now this turtle is hopping mad. So we have the jump. So notice he's going to do something really big here. So I'm going to start off by tackling him since I get full power. I don't have Burning Arrow yet, so that kind of sucks, but we have Archery. We'll start pumping. Oh, man. This is going to be a little annoying. So when he gets close to being full, I'm going to try to cold cock him. Meanwhile, Kid and Moon are going to try to dodge. Only 5 damage. That hurts, man. So I'm just gonna try Lunar Crush to see if that does more damage, and it looks like not really. So, say what you will, I consider this to be a boss fight now. So right now I'm just gonna try to build up for the advantages. So time to dodge, time to dodge. We will Coalcock, and then we will blast. Kid has contracted canine madness? What? So you can see that was an instant KO. I don't know what his health is going to be when he finally does revive, though. This could be bad. So we'll use that on Dom. We'll start pumping. Kid's gonna be getting up in a second. Okay, notice his health. So we're gonna do Moonlight there. Thinking I may have actually needed Barrage for this. Moonlight on Moon. Moonlight on Kid. So right now I'm wondering... Oh god. Oh crud, I didn't get a stop that. Oh well. I don't know how you go... How do you go back? Is it B? So putting the dodges. I don't know if that's actually going to do anything, but I want to test it. So he still does take action. Waiting for the next pump, and then I'm going to fire. Okay, he's going for another knockout. I'm gonna see if I can Coalcock him in time, but I have my doubts. wondering if this is supposed to be an optional boss or something. There's no way to use items in battle, so you can't just medkit kid back up. So right here we just have to turtle and wait for his, well, pardon the pun, wait for that shell to go away. So I think Lunar Crush could bypass that because it's a mental attack, it's not physical. Thing is, this is more suited for AoE type stuff, and generally I prefer Boone as more of a support character. Okay. Then we can Coldcock him. We need to heal Doc. Can't really afford to lose anyone else here. Now, there is a stats effect on Doc, it's just I don't know which one that is. I'm actually going to hold off on Moonlight because I'm probably going to need to use that on Kid. Okay, he's coming up. Okay, we got a crit. Now, if Kid gets hit again with the knockout attack, he is staying down. Gonna put this up. Okay, so we need to cancel the archery. And then once again you have to wait for that shell to expire. That's gone. So we need to heal Moon. Now, I don't know how much power each pump actually increases your shot by. That's one of those things that's not really explained too clearly. Just with a target with as much defense as this, I'm not exactly sure it's really that much. So we need Moonlight Doc. Now that I think about it, I probably should have him pumping. And of course he goes for Kid. Gonna save my points because I'm probably gonna need the Moonlight. Okay, so we need to cancel that one, and just wait for the shell to expire. So once again, we're back at the waiting game. Okay, time to finish him. And Moon did it. The turtle has agreed to be a stepping stone. So that's an S grade? What? So we need to look at one of these. Power Scrooge. Kid allowed his power to charge to 10. Unfortunate. Kid was knocked down unconscious when trying to dodge, but stumbled. And then, like, this is still considered to be a good thing, I guess. Medic. Moon healed a significant amount. As for the participation thing, I don't actually know how you pull this one up. Oh well. I'm just gonna move forward. Oh man. Let's probably enter. Moon's headband is level 2. She now has Flame Arrow, which would have helped immensely in that fight. So medium damage range attack with a fair chance of setting target ablaze. Goodbye, Lunar Crush. Actually, you know what? Let's get rid of Archery. I may need Lunar Crush for certain mobs. So everyone's hats are going to level up from this. Learn Protect. Leap in front of others. Attacks on hurt party members. No, I'll pass on that, thank you. Trip. Opponent loses 1 power and chooses another action to charge. I'm gonna get rid of Tackle for that. So Moon has Harvest. Increases material drop rate for a party on defeated enemies while active. So this is really nice if you're gonna farm. It's just when you get to the boss fights, you need to remember to swap that out. So I'm gonna get rid of Flame Arrow for that for the time being. Counterattack with the basic attack when hit. Well, there goes Coolcock. And Moon's still gonna level up. Meditate. Increase the chance to cause status ailments and recover from your status ailments more quickly. We'll leave that on the bench. Drop Shell and Claw. Reagents are used for imbuing, I believe. So... okay, I kind of give up on this one. So for Rusty's challenges... Oh, okay, I think I see what it is. So now you are wounded. You got banged up in that last fight. The little icon on your status box shows you have some kind of wound. Wounds are persistent ailments that harm you in some way. If you go to your status menu, you can press Y to see how the wound is affecting you and complete this challenge. To get rid of the wound, you can fight a handful of battles till it goes away, see a doctor, have Doc treated at camp, or use a medkit. Or the right vantage. Gain a rank in doctoring. That human veterinarian you called Doc has been treating a lot of wounds lately. Looks like he's about to gain a rank in doctoring. This means he'll have a new title, and also any wounds you acquire will wear off faster if they are wounds that Doc knows the treatments to fix. You don't even have to camp to remove them. Okay, so for that one, switch Doc over. So, I have to push Y to open this, I have to push X to open this one. There you go. Z is the cancel. So let's bring Doc back under controller control, and we're able to move forward some. We need to cross the creek, but the path is blocked by a beaver dam. So that middle one is dangerous. I'm gonna Lunar Crush them though. Don't really care what the one on the left is doing. Probably should have. And worse come worse, I can always trip the middle one. That's... oh man, Doc is slowed. So we're gonna trip this one. So what does this do? Increase material drop rate for party if any targets are defeated while stance is active. I'm gonna cut it close here. Oops. Damage equal to user's current level. So we need to go on this guy. Power Steen's about to expire, unfortunately. I don't even know if I can Lunar Crush them in time. Nope. So we're gonna put that back up in hopes of getting items. Let's keep tripping him. So it caused him to refresh that stick forward thing, which is kind of obnoxious. Aw man, now he's going for the big one. Okay, time to take him down. Oh crud, he's still standing. And he's still doing it. At this point, my best course of action is just to go into defensive stances. So we did block it, that's good news. Start charging that. Okay, let's put that up. And good night. Don't worry, the beavers can rebuild their home. Rank B. No mind over matter. Moon will use mental attacks. Moon dodged an attack that costs 10 power. Beagle Bay graduated to Deluxe Advantage, or Deluxe Vantage. You can now add Beagle Bay DX to any of Kid's hats. So you can see we got quite a bit there. Anyway, I'm going to take that off so that I can speed through some of these other fights. That was more of a demonstration of how it worked. So I want Flame Arrow. Let's grab this here egg. And this one. You used to serve these elderly gram prawns as they were easing into a hot bath. Wasn't where the water there was hot. The more you know. So let's bash this one. Start pumping. We'll get a Lunar Rush going. Or Lunar Crush, I mean. Yes, I'm going to probably keep calling that Diana's move from League of Legends. So that's into the distance once again. Okay, so Lunar Crush is still legit here. I wonder if I can use Bounty with the pump. Well, one way to find out. Actually, this time there's no point in using it because he's the last man standing. Let's trip him. And I don't think we took any damage. This is a flawless victory. The Grand Prawns are annoyed by your youthful vigor. S rank. Sky Twinkle, bonus leader, melee master. Nothing special over there. We got some new advantages here. Cold Cock graduated to a deluxe advantage. You can move to other hats. So we got a claw and a whisker. Nothing particularly fancy. Got a shell. Anything else here for us to pilfer? How do I fight this fish? This is annoying me. There we go. The waters part and these creatures emerge. So I don't know which one's the most dangerous. I'm gonna hit this one though. Oops, we'll start pumping. Feeling a Lunar Crush. Scourgeon is swimming. Wow, that one's squishy. Aw, man, he's still swimming? It looked like it faded away on my screen, but oh well. Doc is paralyzed. The kid finishes it. The river creatures retreat back into the muddy waters. A rank wall breaker. So this one did not defeat an opponent while they were blocking. Perfect dodge, punching bag. He didn't avoid every attack. Claws and whiskers. So now we need to push this over. We need to get over there before it falls on us. So we got a red bead. Luckily Rosie shouldn't be too far behind when she finally joins. Mercy me! There's another Indian! Don't worry, Mrs. Talmadge. Moon Dancer's a Chippewa princess. She's not here to harm you. I'm not a princess. I am simply the daughter of the Peace Chief, but we have no concept of royal blood. Doc Finch, what are you doing here? Connor Talmadge was attacked by the Chippewa while trying to repair the bridge. I came to attend to him. You must be Rosie's friends. She's inside my home looking after the little one. Come on in, I just baked some cornbread. We shouldn't go any further without Rosie. She is in the Talmadge home. So we harvested. I think that's Kid's ability. You can harvest from the animals, which is something new. Can we get more than one? No. The Talmadge has offered me some food, so I'm taking a load off here. Rosie is downstairs. Treats. Here are a few things I found lying around. You can have them. So ceramic pot, fang, we got trapping animal crackers, silver bar, and egg. So yeah, we'll drop a save since we dealt with the annoying turtle. And we are done, Rusty. So don't forget to actually grab stuff off the tables, too. Oops. Actually, you know what? Let's duck back out for a second. Just wanted to make sure. Although... Can we do anything with that thing on the over the fire? No. I typically charge for my services, but these people need your help. If any of you have any wounds, I can remove them for free. Seems to be the trouble. Patch me up. Kills the rabies virus. Oh, so that's what that is. Canine frenzy or something like that they called it, or... So we got healed by a town doctor. And you can buy medkits for $10 each. So if you didn't play the first game, well, can we actually use any of these? No. Medicine was, well, money in general is really hard to come by. That's why I'm really hesitant to use that one medkit. So we got some cabbage. I'll be okay. Doc Finch patched me up. Just need to rest for a few days. Looks like that bridge will have to wait. A horse with black and white stripes? You mean like a skunk? No way. I ain't biting, Miss Rosie. I daren't be fibbing you, Boyd. Used to work in a circus. Seen all sorts of things like that. Found another trapping. Found an ingredient. Found some cheese. And what's this here? Flour. You friends of Rosie? Why, paint me green and call me a cucumber. By golly Jiminy, if it ain't Doc Moon Kid. A firecracker rodeo gal with spit and spirit. Her family died in the attack on Ashwood. Her relentlessly cheerful attitude seems at odds with someone who lost so much in life. Rosie is brave and brash to the point that her fearlessness is alarming. Is there a pain behind her recklessness that cannot be contained? First met Kid briefly in Swellsville, but by coincidence I met him again at that traveling circus where I was working as a lion tamer for Matter McGovern. Kid helped me track down my lions after someone secretly released them from their cages. It was Monty Spades. That fellow then tried to stick my own lions on me when I was doing my performance. Thankfully, you three showed up in the nick of time to save me. We beat Monty together and he met an accidental grisly end. His luck finally ran out. I made it back to Swillsville to tell the sheriff about the St. Little gang and the attack on Ashwood, but he didn't think it would do any good unless he had proof. So we all decided to track down the St. Little gang ourselves, capture him, and get him to confess. It's the only way to stop this war from tearing our colony apart, you hear? Y'all looking a bit older since I last laid eyes on you. Kid, you slicking back your hair back with bear grease? Rosie, do you know anything about the Chipawkwik who attacked Mr. Talmadge? Nah, I was just chewing the rag with this button until you got here. But what are we waiting for? Let's go check it out. Just like old times. So what's the Inquire button on the end? Set a Deluxe Vantage. Gain a level for your Hatland advantage that you already knew. Except this has a DX next to it. Must be confused, but allow me to explain. This is called a Deluxe Vantage. This is how you can only, how you can only set your active vantages with just the vantages unlocked for your currently equipped hat. Well, not true with Deluxe Vantages. Deluxe Vantage can be set with any hat. For example, if you learn Tumble DX from the Stetson hat, You will now be able to set Tumble as an active vantage while wearing any other hat. See for yourself. I must tell you that if you use a deluxe vantage in battle that is not associated with your current hat, you won't get any vantage points for using it. So keep that in mind when trying to level up your hats. Now set a deluxe vantage as an active vantage to a hat it did not originate from to complete this challenge. I can't do that yet. What are you trapping? Looks like you picked up some interesting bauble there. It's not a weapon and it's not armor. What is it? We call these things trappings, and they have a variety of special effects on the wearer. In order to learn what each effect has, you'll have to use your faithful Inquire button when your cursor is pointed at the equipment menu. Try it. With so many active participants in battle, it might start to get hectic. You can pause the battle clock by pressing X, but you can also change the speed of battles from the pause menu. Do you know you can press Y to learn almost anything about what your cursor is pointing at? That's why I call it the Inquire button. You can use it on enemies to learn about them and what advantages they have. It's about when you use them. You need to anticipate when an enemy has enough power to attack and when your party does. Press X to toggle the battle clock on and off. When the clock is off, no one will generate power, but you can still choose advantages. So we do have some trappings. Let's go ahead and equip these. Animal crackers. Tasty crackers that prevent persistent wounds when falling in combat. That's going on Moon. What's the barrel do? If no stance is active, the barrel will block 5 physical attacks in battle. Then the barrel is destroyed. I want to save that for an important fight. Help! Oh, please, somebody help! Came from up the road. Probably at the bridge. The voice sounded a mite familiar. Could be another attack. Let's hurry. Status ailments. Escape from combat. I wonder how long these things are going to last, because I'm starting to get a little worn out. So the guy that was down here isn't here anymore. I imagine he's probably the guy that called out for help. How far will this thing chase us? Wow. It's got tenacity, I'll give it that. Fox is hunting the rabbit. Now they're both after us. Don't you hate it when that happens? So anyway, we need to hit X. Level 5, a large hare with a mean streak. Advantages, nibble, kick, headbutt, jump, protect. Level 20. A clever predator that stalks small varmints. Pounce, gnaw, evil eye, dodge, survival. Oh, I forgot to look at her stuff. So whip, normal rope attack. Tumble, evade next physical attack, but lose all power and drop stance, so this isn't really that good unless it's a last resort type thing. 90% chance of paralyze with hog tie and dust off, revives an incapacitated teammate. I don't remember her having that in the first game. Anyway, we will... do that one. So we can go ahead and hit this rabbit. Well, that was a rude rabbit. Let's hog tie this thing. Okay, Moon took a nasty hit. Too slow. So Rusty, take this thing down for me. Plan B. Still paralyzed. Okay, there's the ignition. So I wonder if I get anything special for it dying to fire. I'm gonna cancel the attacks and see. Without our weapons, we would have had no chance. Grade A, lots of stuff for Moon. So right here is that burnout that I was looking at. Defeat an enemy using fire, punching bag, self-preservation. So we're not getting that much EXP, but Moon gets a level up for her hat. Harvest is now Deluxe Vantage, so we actually have one that's kind of good at the moment. Dropped a whisker, pelt a claw. Apple, I assume? Nope, yellow bead. Don't know what the larva is for exactly, but it's probably going to be a little up before we can actually start imbuing stuff. We'll have to see if I need to make a sleep gun like I did last game. He looks fine. Forgot Colonel Sanders' name there. Higgins Comfort, that's what. Oh, please! These terrible engines have destroyed this bridge and set an ambush for me. War Chief Yellow Cloud. Why are you attacking this man? This thief and his people have been chopping down trees on our land, using the Snaketail River to carry them to the White Man's city. I've always taken lumber from the Chipawkwick Valley, and none of you idiots ever gave me trouble before. That was past. Today we are at war with your people. This man trespassed on our land and desecrated our forests. He will be our prisoner now. You're putting us all in danger, Yellow Cloud. Tensions are high enough as it is with this war. An attack like this is only going to lead to more violence on both sides. This war has already started. There are casualties on both sides. The cause of this conflict is no longer important to me. Am I not the daughter of our chief Flying Trout? Will you not heed my command to cease this attack and return to the valley, Yellow Cloud? The Peace Chief no longer holds sway among the Chipawkwick. His attempt to placate men like this has dishonored us. Now I lead the Chipawkwick. If you oppose me, then you are an enemy. I'm cool. Moon Dancer, I won't let you stand in our way. Under my leadership, the Chipawkwick are unbeatable. So the bird has me a little bit worried, because this is now a 4-on-4 fight. And Kid doesn't really have anything that good to use. So let's go ahead and aim for the bird first. We'll start pumping. I would like to Lunar Crush. That was 10 damage. Wow. Okay, so, looks like they're all doing the same thing out. Let's actually look. Golden Tusk, Fierce Warrior of the Chipawkwick, Arrow Storm, Flame Arrow, Archery, Protect, Jump. Yellow Cloud. Once a friend, now an enemy. Throw, Ghost Walk, Siphon, Leadership, Parry. Okay, I can't actually read what the... Okay, there's the Falcon. No! Leaf Whisper. Level 8, Chipawkwick, known for training deadly falcons. Advantages, Sucker Punch, Torch, Ram, Lucky, and Jump. Now for this one, you are still vulnerable to ranged. Train Falcon, level 5. Deadly Companion, advantages, Scratch, Peck, Headbutt, Fly, Protect. Okay, so I want to say this one's going to go down without too much trouble. Let's see. So let's hog tie him. I don't know how effective it'll be, but it's better than just sitting here staring at him. I will dodge, by the way. Oh no! Yellow Cloud is leading. Increases power generation rate of the party. That's obnoxious. Leaf Whisper is jumping. So that bird got cooked. Moon needs to heal herself. Actually, I need to use Beagle Bay on him. No! Cancel that. Let's see if I can knock that. Actually, leadership's fading away already, so it doesn't really matter. We will hog tie no one at the moment. We can whip this guy, though. You fight like warriors, but you lack the leadership to defeat us. He's right. Yellow Cloud's leadership stance increases the power generation rate of their entire party. If we can disrupt that stance, we can keep them from overpowering us. Do any of us have a vantage that can stagger Yellow Cloud? Wow, Moon got hammered there. What does Lucky do? Oops. Vastly improves chance for critical hits. Okay, that one on the left blocked, it looks like. Since that would have been a finisher. Let's heal Rosie. There's that stupid ghost walking in. She's too terrified to act. Holy. Good night. You fight well, but this is not over. So we only got an A rank because I probably needed to deal with the leadership vantage sooner. Still 216 XP, that's enough for Kid to level up, and only him. Oh, that's divided between the 4 of them. A 5th vantage can be added to the Stetson. Tackle has been added back to it. So we have Whip Crack, Sonic Boom, may frighten the enemy. I'm gonna get rid of Tumble. Dropped a bean. Enough. We should not fight as enemies. But Moondancer, you are too much like your father. His foolish ways will bring destruction to our people. Sooner or later you will see this. I did not mean to upset the Chipawkwik, but I needed that lumber to finally repair the railroad. If you did not intervene, Victor and I... Oh, I don't want to think about it. How can I ever thank you? Money would be nice. I know you're a rich man, Mr. Comfort. Any financial assistance you could provide would be definitely help us in our quest. Sadly, I have lost my wallet during the scuffle, but perhaps there is something else I can give you. I've had this hat... Ooh, a typo. The first one I've seen so far. I've had this hat since I came to Bronco County, all the way from Georgia a decade ago. In the South, we often say that hats keep the head corked, so his wild temperament don't spill. Yes, sir, the hat makes the man. So even though you already got a hat, maybe wearing this one will change your disposition. In plain speak, I'm saying that wearing this different hat will give you a different set of advantages. So give it a try. So now we have the Panama. And now, Victor and I must continue on our way to Swellsville. If you're in town, stop by the train depot and say hello. Moon, what is it? Yellow Cloud and his warriors. They had black paint on their faces. That means that they've killed someone recently. I didn't realize the situation had deteriorated so much. We were supposed to stop this war, but it's already started, hasn't it? One problem at a time. My stomach's rumbling. Can't we get something to eat? It is getting dark. Let's find a place to stay the night and put together a plan. I don't want to impose any more on the Talmadges. Kid, don't you live near here? Kid's farm is just over Boot Hill to the northeast. Change keyboard controls to your new hat. Now, do I have to read these to do them, or can I just put on the hat and be done with it? I have to read them. Swap status elements with the enemy a lot. Status elements are those square things that appear next to their bar sometimes. Some, like poison, are pretty easy to understand, but I have trouble remembering them all and what they do. Those square symbols aren't very helpful. I don't know what those are supposed to be half the time, so let me give you a lesson on the various status elements, something you can refer to repeatedly if you ever forget. Read about each one to complete the challenge. Oh, man. Tell me about Stagger. Don't know what this symbol is supposed to be. Some dots or something. Anyway, a staggering enemy will immediately drop any stance they have and be unable to use stances until the element passes. This is extremely useful if you get sick of an enemy that keeps using an annoying stance like dodge, mirage, or leadership. Also, an enemy that is staggering will wobble back and forth and be more vulnerable to critical hits. That part I didn't know. That's actually kind of cool. Neat. Escape from combat. Sometimes you might be fighting a losing battle. Other times you might not be in the mood for a tussle. Either way, you can try to escape from combat by pressing and holding down the L and R buttons. It might take a while if your enemies are fast, but you'll hopefully get out of there. Unfortunately, you cannot escape from boss fights. Are you unsatisfied with the default keyboard controls? You can edit keys from the pause menu. Try it. Tell me about being on fire. Looks like a little flame, right? Yeah, this is the status element symbol for being on fire. As you might expect, being on fire causes a large amount of damage over time. However, the status element wears off quickly. Tell me about being afraid. Boo! It's a little ghost, right? This symbol is present when an enemy is afraid. An enemy that is afraid is unable to choose offensive actions, although I think it can still do any offensive action it's currently charging. I think it can still do any offensive action it's currently charging when it became afraid? There's something off about that sentence. If you are afraid, you can still use stances and healing advantages, but be unable to confront an enemy with an offensive attack until the ailment passes. So disarmed is a big one, because this changes how some of your fights are going to go. So I don't know what exactly that symbol is supposed to be. This is the symbol for the status of being disarmed. I think that's supposed to be like a sword. I'm not seeing it, I'm afraid. I don't know. The artist really botched this one. Anyway, an enemy that is disarmed cannot use any advantages that require a weapon. You can probably guess which advantages require weapons and which ones do not. Smash and shoot require a hand weapon and small gun respectively. Tackle and kick are unarmed attacks. Most stances do not require weapons, but a stance like parry does. Make sense? Z is the symbol for sleeping. Makes sense, I guess. A sleeping enemy will continue to charge power, but be unable to take any action at all. A sleeper will wake up the moment they are hit with any damage. Otherwise, it takes a long time for the sleep element to pass. This is how I cheesed the lines in the first game, in case you're wondering. I made a gun that would put everything to sleep, and I just spammed, a sweep or something like that for Kid. I forgot what exactly that move was called. If I were you, I would take advantage of a sleeping enemy and charge your own power and heal your party. Tell me about Stinky. So that's supposed to be like rotten cheese or something? Yeah, the stinky cheese is a symbol for a stinky status. If you are stinky, you cannot be healed or helped by other party members, because you smell too bad for them to get near enough. Humans can be disgusted by bad odors, but I never smelled a smell I didn't like. Oh, also, getting the stinky stats will remove the perk clean if you have it. These yellow dots are supposed to represent paralysis. As a dog, I'm not so keen on such abstract representations. Anyway, paralyzing an enemy is kind of a gamble, but it can be worth your while. A paralyzed enemy has a 50% chance of botching any action. This means they'll spend all that power and nothing will happen. It's pretty funny to watch an enemy charge up a 10-power attack, only to lose it all due to paralysis. Of course, as I mentioned, they'll only botch it 50% of the time. So may the odds be in your favor. Green skull means something is poisoned. Poison takes off health bit by bit over time. You can lose a lot of health to poison, but you can't be knocked unconscious by it. The yellow skull just looks menacing with the red eyes, huh? Yeah, it's a symbol for disease, a much deadlier form of poison. Like poison, it takes away health bit by bit. Except unlike poison, the damage becomes greater and greater the longer the disease lasts, so it's like toxic from Pokemon. So try to cure it as soon as possible if you can. I think this is supposed to be an hourglass. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Anyway, slow simply reduces your power regeneration rate by half. So you charge power more slowly while the status is in effect. Makes sense to me. This symbol of a face with red eyes means blindness. A blind enemy will have a chance of missing their targets completely. This purpose question mark means you are confused. That's supposed to be purple question mark? Confusion results in a 25% chance of hitting yourself with your own attacks. Not only is this physically painful, but the humiliation of doing this is far worse. If you think you hear me laughing at you when you do this, I promise it's probably just the wind or something. I would never laugh at your pain. Well, that's interesting. Normally a hat will allow you to set 4 different vantages, but you've gained enough levels in a hat that you've opened up extra space for even more vantages. This will give you even more versatility so you can be better prepared for any situation. Complete this challenge by changing what vantage you have as your 5th or 6th vantage. So it goes all the way up to 6, eh? The hat makes the man. By wearing a hat, you have access to an array of new advantages associated with that hat. And as you gain VP in battle, your hat unlocks even more advantages. Each hat can be customized individually with advantages it has unlocked. You gain VP in battle whenever you use advantage associated with that hat, which means deluxe advantages from other hats won't give you VP. You can continue to master the hat you have on, but complete the challenge. You have to put on a new hat. Okay, so I have to actually change that. So real quick, we'll go ahead and toss on the Panama and see what it gives us. So we have shoot, take cover, avoid range attacks but decrease power regeneration rate, drop the stance if you take action or hit. Southern Comfort, heal an enemy but reduce their power to 0. Huh. Then warning shot, opponent drops all stances and changes their next action to dodge. That could be really good. By the way, I don't have a gun, I'm still using the Green River knife, so you want to stick to the Stetson until you actually get a weapon that you can use with that. And there you go, the flintlock pistol. So yeah, we'll go ahead and swap over. But you probably won't get to see it until the next video, I'm afraid. Once they crash for the night, I'm going to put a break. Rusty Ed, challenges, change text speed, second conversation. Have you ever noticed this exclamation point appear over the heads of people sometimes? This means that even though you spoke to them, they actually have more they'd like to tell you. Maybe they have something maybe they want to give you something cool, huh? Talk to one of these chatterboxes a second time to complete this challenge. Am I speaking too slowly? If you ask me, I like the slow scrolling text. It makes the dialogue more dramatic. But you know you can change this setting from the pause menu, right? Unscroll, the text scrolls out letter by letter. Auto fills up the text instantly to the breakpoint when you must press A to continue. And block just shows all the text that will fill the message box. Show me you can change these settings and you'll complete this challenge. So that's this thing. Taking the long ways back to Swillsville. Since you helped the Talmadge family, I'll heal any wounds you have for free. Next time, I'm charging you. I'm fine. Henry Rattlesnake Fisher. The name written on this grave is no longer legible. Nellie Sontag. I believe these are Kickstarter backers, by the way. Cha? The name of the grave is worn, you cannot make out all the letters. Quentin doesn't know that I continue to visit the grave of my first husband. He was killed by Tuco Delgado 10 years ago while defending our family from the Saints Little gang. But I feel guilty keeping my visits secret from my current husband. So, she didn't have anything to add. Houston Mowry, beloved husband. Anyway, let's go talk to Rusty and grab our loot. That reminds me, there's something I want to tell you about that. Okay, we got the second conversation right here. The game is saved frequently in an autosave. Don't rely on an autosave file, because if that is your only data, you could autosave yourself into a place you can't escape from. For example, kids like you are always falling down wells. So, what if that happens and all you have is your autosave file? You'd be stuck down there with no other save data to revert back to. That's why you gotta talk to this guy here to save manually. And by this guy, I meant to be pointing at myself with thumbs. But I don't have thumbs. I'm a dog. And it's a good idea to save multiple files, too. Just in case. Couldn't hurt, right? Anyway, home is just over Boot Hill here, and it's almost time for dinner. Wow, so you completed a lot of challenges. I can't even give you all these treats at once. Here are some of them. Ask me again for the rest. So we got a hand weapon, the sword, larva, the trapping of the shield, chili, hand weapon, boomerang. So I guess you can only give us 5 at once. Got some custard, the log weapon, butternut, marigold, silver bar. Oops. I didn't save your game. Claw, dried fruits, photophore, hoof, butternut salad. Chalice, strawberry, iron ingot, quicksilver, and medkit. Saved your game. Ivar Berquist, world's greatest chef. Scavengers and decomposers are fighting for this territory. So, let's shoot this one real fast since it's vulnerable. We'll start pumping. Did that miss, or... I don't know. So right here we'll use Southern Comfort. I'm just gonna shoot that. And we can hog tie it real fast. Ah, crap, I missed it. So Moon is likely to miss. We're going to hold back on her attack.
The resets! I'm gonna Southern Comfort it real fast. It fully healed it, unfortunately, but it wasn't really that badly hurt in the first place, so no loss. So looks like it's gonna take to the air again. And I didn't get to cancel that in time since she's still using melee. So the flame arrow has expired. Okay, hog tie, whip crack, blast, shoot. And it fails, so good night. They won't get in our way again. B rank. Not really sure what I could have done to make this a little bit better, but oh well. So we actually got a nice little chunk of EXP there, so that's going to push Kid a little bit closer to level 13. Duxador is level 6, he now gets the 5th Vantage. Barrage is added back, that's good news. Dropped a beak. Name written on this grave is no longer legible. So what was this one? Iron Bergquist. Nothing hidden over here, so let's just charge forward. Bill Bank? If the name on this grave is worn, you cannot make out all the letters. Uncle? The name on the grave is worn, you can only make out a few letters. If the war with the Chapaco continues, I fear that this entire hill will be filled to the brim with the dead, unable to contain their tragedy. No name written on the marker. Edith Snodgrass. No longer legible. David Yeager, Bronco County Sheriff. The name on this grave is worn, you cannot make out all the letters. The name on this grave is worn out. My spirit cannot rest until that which has been taken from me has been returned. Maxwell Stinson or something? So that's a side quest of sorts, it looks like. Say, I think I remember you. Didn't you run into us when we were coming out of Ashwood? Maybe you don't recognize the Ferris family when we're not covered in ash and soot. No, I don't. We're yanked into this life without any say, squealing and squirming. Then thrust in the ground when our time is up. Not much of a square deal for us, eh? We're all in this together. It's being in that same footing that brings us together. No matter how different we are, we're all cutting this path the same. You're right, we do share that common bond. Thanks. A lot of the bodies recovered found in Ashwood were burned too badly to be recognized, so they just stuck them in the ground here rather than burying them proper at the church. Daniel Ferris, beloved son. Jane McSween, wife and mother. Montgomery Spades, our buddy Monty. I'm surprised there was a body left after those lines were done. Got a quill bow. So that's probably an upgrade from Moon. Boomerang's down. Quail bow's quite an improvement. After the attack on Ashwood, so many of us were killed or went missing. Many of the bodies were never recovered. We held out hope, but it's time to let go. I'll never forgive the Chapakwick for this. Esther Barker. The name written on the grave is no longer legible. The flowers placed on tombstones have attracted these insects. So, the ones on the right seem to be a little more dangerous. We'll do the Lunar Crush. I should point out I have Barrage down here now. You can only show 4 on screen, but you can have more. So, what we'll do is we'll shoot this one real fast. What's Warning Shot do again? That's lame for the moment. We'll start pumping that up. Wine and dine this thing with some Southern Comfort. Wow, that staggers them too? That's really nice. We'll get that one too. Then we'll hog-tie this one. Good night. So hog-tie went to the one that I couldn't actually affect. Third one is slowed. Can't let insects disturb the rest of the dead. Got an A rank participation award. Kid didn't get any other bonuses this battle, so they get this one for building self-esteem. Finalizer. Doc defeated 3 or more enemies. So we now have Dixie Special. Small gun attacks hit multiple targets. What's Southern Comfort do? So take cover isn't that bad if you're going to fire something immediately afterward. Damn. I think I'm going to replace shoot. Then we got a bunch of horns and larvae. Like, I didn't even see that bug on the map. Many of the grave markers here have weathered and now are unreadable. Dying is one thing, but what happens when everyone forgets about you and the name on your grave marker fades away? It's like you never existed. I don't want to see that. All things must pass. Not even the Dragon Balls last forever. Nothing lasts. Not people, civilizations. The moon and the stars will one day come crashing down. But accepting the futility of it all is the ultimate freedom. Well, that's pretty dark, kid. Man. Chapakwick were pretty thorough in their mowdown, you know? Doogie Walper. Ma's buried in the cemetery grounds at San Gonzalo's. Pa says only gunslingers and ruffians are buried here at Boot Hill. Someone's here. When I kick the bucket, I want to be wearing my boots. I want to be buried here at Boot Hill. But don't tell my pa said that. Rebecca Walper, beloved wife and mother. There's a rumor Colonel Middleton is working on a counterattack against the Chapakwick right now. Just got in some new artillery at Fort Chattahoochee. Lawmen and desperados, heroes and villains. In life, they fought and killed each other. Beneath Boot Hill here, they all rest side by side for eternity, like Monty over there. Travis O'Grady. Lee Crawford. These ravens think that the cemetery belongs to them. Oh, crud.
You actually need shoot in order to use this. So I only have the warning shot here. Damn. And Kid isn't really tanky enough to actually, This Southern Comfort thing is really nasty, man. Hit him with all those stats effects? Let's hog-tie this one. Gonna keep winding and dining the one bird. Didn't see if that connected or not. What the hell? So let's dust her off and see what happens. She still has the wound, unfortunately. Gonna get rid of Warning Shot. It's not really helping as much as Southern Comfort does. Anyway, right here we need to hog-tie this thing so it stays on the ground. Probably should just finish it off. Okay, that one is finally down. So I want to build up. I'm going to use one Southern Comfort once I can actually, well, once I have everything built up. I actually think this might be the fight where I should have run away. So I can't use Southern Comfort here because that'll fully heal the thing, which is like the last thing I want right now. Hoping Moon still gets EXP from this. Why do ravens gather at cemeteries? Grade D. Medic. Kid healed a significant... Oh, because of the healing them. So Kid leveled up. Poison Lash. So I'm going to get rid of, I'm thinking Whip Crack for that. Because I liked having Rosie as a stats attacker. But anyway, we cleared out, well, we revealed Dixie right there. So we will shoot, and we'll get rid of Warning Shot for the Dixie Special. So the other Doc was over here. We can get rid of all of Moon's stats effects. Hopefully Doc is actually learning something. So those ravens are nasty customers, man. Moon isn't looking so good. It's been quite a scuffle with those Indians. Don't worry, I'll patch you up for free. So, I guess she needs this. She has a concussion. And smelling salts to calm her. So that cured the vapors. Now, I don't know if Doc's actually learning anything here, though. That's the thing. Lee Crawford. Rough. Wolf? Name on this grave is Warren, you can't make it all the letters. William T. Fontamont. Beloved husband. Oswald the Hangman Bishop. So he was the secret boss, or the final boss, optional boss, super boss, whatever you want to consider him, from the Hangman's Ballad DLC. The Hangman of Pittsburgh, Oswald Bishop. So maybe this is actually using my data, I'm not sure. I'm from the church at San Gonzalez, where there's another cemetery there. We are burying the dead during the Eve of Skulls. You should join us there. Foreshadow. So, the dog has a good point. What does that do? You acquired a perk. Maybe you got it from eating food or talking to someone. I don't know because I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, you might want to know how that perk is affecting you. Go to your stats menu, you can press Y to see how the perk is affecting you to complete this challenge. Oh, it's right there. So, yeah, can you actually tell me what it's doing, though? See what attacks your enemies are planning next. Affect the last 10 battles. So there you go, the intro to Boot Hill Bounties is now complete. I don't know if I'm going to show the random battles, though. Like, they're kind of neat, which is why I'm leaning towards yes, but I don't know how many they're going to be. If it's like Citizens of Earth excessive, then no, but if they're... the way they're going, I am kind of interested. So switch party leader, how do we do that one? I notice one person walks around, the rest of you just follow things directly behind them like lemmings. I think you should give someone else a chance to lead the party around. If you press back to switch the order... okay, yeah, the back arrow, that's the select button on an Xbox controller here. Switch the order of the party and put someone else in front. Whichever player is controlling the party will be the one leading the party. Templeton Howell, Kid's father. Can't go over there, at least not through the trees. Northwest Boot Hill Cemetery, Snaketail River, southeast Ashwood, Swellsville. Wonder if we can actually rebuild Ashwood this game. Let's go grab this flower. Kid harvested a carrot.
So have I been able to harvest stuff up until now, it's just I haven't done it? But you can see Kid's abilities relate to him being a farmer. Let's go read the sign. North Boot Hill, East Ashwood, Swellsville. What's to the south? Is it death? Actually, this is his farm. So I know you can actually farm stuff for like ingredients and stuff in this game using your actual farm. I don't know if we're able to do that just yet though, because it looks like we have some corn here. Gain a rank in harvesting. Wow, you've really been pulling up all those veggies and acquiring ingredients from farm animals, while you're about to gain a rank in farming. This means that Kid will have a new title, and also means you'll be able to buy more upgrades for your farm at home. Yeah, but how do I plant stuff? And these do not look good. Okay, it's actually grain. Clodhopper. And they don't tell you anything other than that's rank 2. So let's take a peek at Shea Rusty. Sign isn't ready yet. I'll tell you when it is. Rusty. Rusty's doghouse is locked. Well, the dog doesn't take any chances. You gotta give him that. Any varmints in the barn for us to fight? So is this some sort of crafting station? Let's check the basement. Got a fang. And a scale. What a scale is doing in his basement, we will need to address that later. Got a stinger. So apparently he has some sort of bee infestation or something. Anyway, anything else we can do here? Sorry for never giving you that money, Ma. Well, there you are, son, and you've brought your friends. Nice to see you again, Mrs. Howell. Don't mean to impose, but you got some extra beds for us to hunker down for the night? Of course. I'll get out the extra blankets. I was just about to start fixing supper. My daddy taught me better manners than that. You just relax, Mrs. Howell, and I'll handle the cooking tonight. Her skills are cooking, if you didn't notice. Kid, you'll help out too, right? He's laughing at it. Now the rest of you come on in and cool your heels for a spell. Spun shirt. Comfortable bed made of hay. Got some kerosene. Some oil. So let's go ahead and take a look at this spun shirt. That's what I thought. The spun shirt was your starting armor. I don't know why they gave that back to you unless you can upgrade it somehow. Let's grab this. And this. Got a flint. Door to Mom's room is locked. Portrait of Templeton Howell. Got a broom. We're ready to cook up a storm, but we still need some ingredients. Find out what everyone wants to eat and gather up ingredients around the farm. You wanna know what I like? Something spicy, of course. Yeah, spicy, but not too sweet or sour. Talk to me. Surely you can find some eggs in the barn. Now come on, kid. Make hay while the sun still shines and give me those ingredients. You'll need to look around to find some ingredients for Rosie to cook a meal tonight. What do you think we should eat? Maybe you should talk to your friends to find out what they'd like to have. That's the only hospitable course to take. Okay, she's not by the door this time. You'll need to look around and find some ingredients for Rosie to cook a meal. What do you think we should eat? Talk to your friends. You can find some eggs in the barn. That old goat surely has some cheese. You can harvest the crops in the field too. Be careful in that barn. I saw a rattling snake in there. Nope. Better get a look in. Sun's coming down. Thought you could catch a break at home. Now you're running around looking for ingredients. So we got trapping spittoon, butternut, and runty. I am gonna save though because I think the rattlesnake may be a little dangerous. Those look like something I could pick up, but I guess not. I like your home. It is very peaceful here. But there's something I was hoping to show you. While I was away, I learned a technique that may help us. She has the imbuing thing. For me to show you, I need you to find me certain reagents. I'm told it should work with a fang, a stinger, and a scale. We found all three in the barn. Please try and find these things before dinner, okay? Do you find those reagents I asked for? Remember I said I need a fang, a stinger, and a scale. Don't I have all three? Actually, first, let's pull up Rusty's thing, because I probably need to go in the menu. Shop by enemies, bought stores. What are you supposed to do? Materials actually have multiple purposes. You can sell your materials for cash, treasures. You can also use them to cook meals, ingredients, heal wounds, medkits, and imbue your weapons with properties, reagents. To learn more about a material, go to the menu and press Y. So, we're not quite done yet. So you say you'd tell me more. So I wonder if this is fixed so that certain ones give you certain things, or if it's just numerically oriented. Like if you complete any three, you get the third item on the list, or something like that. So we got a PPV, whatever that is. Anyway, materials. Treasure? Oh wait, there's reagents. Here we go. So we have a beak, a claw, fang, scale, stinger. So I'm a guest here I do not wish to impose, but if you must know, I prefer savory food. So something with meat. Do you find those reagents I asked for? A fang, a stinger, and a scale. Maybe you actually have to fight the rattlesnake first, and then you can get it? Where's Doc? Maybe he's in the barn. So I am a little concerned about fighting the snake as I am. Oh well. This sinister cobra is gobbling up baby chicks. So it's gonna coil. Actually, Dixie Special does nothing for me here. Just gonna use Venom Fang again. We want to take cover at the last second.
recoil. Ah, it actually did poison me. I don't know what throttle does. So this was a lot less menacing than I thought it would be. Cobra slithers away to cause trouble elsewhere. B rank, 1.5 VP bonus, 272 EXP, which is a lot. Drop Stinger and Scale. Okay, while I was here, I seriously did grind all the way up to level 15. Like, this is your best grinding opportunity for, well, that I've seen so far. The Cobra giving that whopping 250 EXP, you can seriously sit here and gain a ton of levels on Kid, and that's probably something that may need to be nerfed before this game actually goes live. Got those reagents you asked for. What do you need this stuff for? Thank you, Kid. I'll show you after dinner. Don't you still have some ingredients to find? So I never found Doc. This may be the last decent meal we'll have in some time. If you're taking suggestions, I prefer food that tastes sweet or savory, but nothing sour or spicy if you don't mind. So that's 2 for savory, Rosie likes spicy, and then his mom, did she actually say anything? You know what, I'm gonna talk to the dog and save real fast. Just in case I need to go grind against the snake some more. Where am I supposed to find this stuff? Can't ride my horse yet. Ingredients. Well, I have nothing savory, but there's no animal for you to actually hunt or anything. Unless we're gonna eat the goat or the horse. Rusty? They're not really offering much. Okay, we finally got some meat. So that's what you had to do. You had to go hunt rabbits. Meat meets the requirement of being savory. It's just, I don't know if I need one for each of them, or if one meat is good. Judging from the setting sun, I'd say that's probably going to suffice. Let's get cooking. Not often we get company here at the farm. This place is a bit crowded, but I'm enjoying the atmosphere. Do you still have those reagents I asked you to find? I'm ready to show you what I can do with them. While I was away, Bluefeather showed me an ancient and secret Chipogric technique to draw out the hidden properties of natural objects and instill them within weapons. These natural objects, called reagents, can be combined to give a weapon an effect, such as attack up or poison. By imbuing our weapons, we can customize our weapons to make them more powerful. For me to imbue a weapon, just choose a weapon and then 3 different reagents you want me to combine. The problem is that I don't know the effect properties contained within the reagents, so I'm not sure what combinations will work. But Bluefeather's last words to me were that there is a common property within a fang, scale, and a stinger, which is poison. I'm not sure if it will work, but let's try it. There's a lot more I can tell you, so if you want to know more, just ask me to explain imbuing, okay? So we want to use her quailbow, fang, stinger, or scale, stinger. Okay, you get attack up. So what's this? Lumberjack tool with a metal spike used to grab and pick up logs. Like, I want to say the flintlock pistol is probably pretty solid, so we can use these. Here we go. Mion's been imbuing. You're about to gain a rank. She'll be able to imbue another empty slot and give it another special property. So you can imbue your old stuff all over again. So we'll use this. Have to use it on the Hawken rifle, I guess. Fang, scale, stinger. She's now a scrap user. Now we can upgrade our stuff again, I think. A yellow bead. Not really. So you may want to save before doing the effects, and you can map them out without really losing anything. So is she going to teach us about cooking now? Thanks for inviting us over, kid. This is the first time I've felt like I've been in a welcoming home in a long time. Now we have a house full of hungry folk to feed, so I hope you have some ideas about dinner. Just tell me what recipe you'd like me to cook, and if I have the right ingredients, I'll make it for you. If you want to know stuff like what food does, or where to find ingredients, or how I can learn new recipes, just ask me to explain. But I won't bug you with all the information unless you ask. Got it? Ready for me to cook something? Not yet. I know the squaw is upset about taking up arms against her own people today. But you understand it had to be done. Can't do any good without doing some bad along the way. All we can do now is end this war before more violence occurs. Kid, you don't look well. All the action today took a toll on you, and you have the wound fatigued. Usually we get wounds like this when we lose all our health during a battle. When that happens, a wound like this will persist and negatively affect your combat abilities somehow. When you get a wound, it will eventually go away. But if we're camping like this, I can cure it myself if I know the right medical treatment. You know, I was once a reputable doctor before I became a bounty hunter. If you want to know more about how wounds affect you or how to learn new treatments, just ask me to explain. I won't flap my gums more unless you ask. So, Champlin's Invigorant. Curious to see what you and Rosie come up with for supper. Have you given her the ingredients yet? So, let's eat. So I only have one meat. We don't have the milk for slapjacks, missing the onion for succotash, and vegetable stew. So this gives you the strapping effect, you take less damage, boosts your smart stat. I'm gonna do the beef stew first. Thought it tasted grody. So I didn't actually have to eat that now, did I? Oh well. Thanks for helping me with dinner, Mrs. Howell. I haven't had food this good since I left the village. I'd nearly forgotten how nourishing it can be. Don't mention it. I'm just happy my son is making some new friends. We're not friends. I'm glad we had a chance to all be together. The road ahead is treacherous. This may be the last peaceful dinner we have together. Can I get you anything, sir? No, ma'am. Hey, something about you looks familiar. Have we met before? Don't reckon we have. Time to hatch out a plan. Find the Saint's little gang won't be easy. I've been searching for them for 10 years. Until just recently I hadn't heard hide nor hair of them. You! Now I recall where I know you from. You're Valentine, the doctor. You were a member of my husband's Boot Hill Posse. Yeah, Mary. That's right. "10 years ago, the Saint's little gang, led by Coyote Saint, terrorized Bronco County and brought the people here to ruin. Only a farmer-turned-sheriff named Templeton Howell was brave enough to stand up to them. I was a regular doc back then in Cypress Flats, but I had my own reasons to join up with Howell's Boot Hill Posse. We all had it out in a final battle in Swellsville. The Boot Hill Posse and the Saint's little gang. It was rough, but we managed to beat them all back. All that was left was Coyote Saint. But Howell had his own way of doing things. He let the rest of the Saint's little gang go free in exchange for a lone duel with Coyote Saint. And even when he'd won, he refused to kill him. Wanted him taken alive. That fool Howell got himself shot in the back. And all for nothing. Coyote's locked up but still alive. The rest of the Saint's little gang are here terrorizing Bronco County again 10 years later. Howell was brave, but his assistance on law and order was nothing but a waste. I'm not going to hear you say such things about my husband in my own home. My father made the right decision. My pa had to set an example and show people how to live safely together. Until now. So now it's up to us to find the Saint's little gang. The only lead I got is a woman in Cypress Flats who may know where to find Scorpion Saint. But I'm afraid convincing her to help us won't be easy. How about we take the simplest path? I say we go to Fort Chattahassee and just convince Colonel Middleton to call off this dumb war. Easier to wage a war than change the mind of a stubborn man like that. After what happened with Yellow Cloud today, I want to return to my village. Since the war started, the usual routes to the Chapakwick Valley have been cut off. What about the large fellow in white we rescued from Yellow Cloud? You mean that train guy, Higgins Comfort? He was logging in the Chapakwick Valley, so perhaps he still has means to get back to that land. Comfort said he was headed to Swellsville. We can catch up with him. However, we should be worried about returning to Chapakwick land. A runaway daughter and 3 white settlers won't get a warm welcome. You think Chief Lion Trout wouldn't welcome back his own daughter? For a woman like me to leave my tribe the way I did, it's akin to treason. I'm not looking forward to confronting my father, but he may be able to tell us something about Burning Crow. Then maybe we should search for the other members. Creed Little, Stampede Sally, Tuco Delgado could be anywhere in Bronco County. Especially now that the Comfort Rail is working again. What do you think, kid? Explore Bronco County for more clues. If the rest of the Saints Little Gang are as deranged as Monty Spades was, then they won't stay hidden. If we look around, we're bound to dig up some clues on their whereabouts. Sounds like whatever we decide, our next stop is the town of Swellsville. From there, we can catch the train. Agreed. Let's head out first thing in the morning. His room reminds me so much of Ness's from Earthbound. Mama, Papa, why wasn't I with you? Esga Sylvania? Doda? Don't know what those mean. Let's just talk to Doc. Haven't seen Mary in 10 years. Surprised she recognized me. Then again, Butch and LT told me I hadn't changed at all. She hasn't come back yet. You should look outside for her. Okay, good advice, Doc. Ah, you can still save while he's sleeping. Man, Rusty works really hard. Anyway, we'll have to see if in the next part we actually do have access to our horse. So then getting around like this is not as bad. Wonder if Rusty's doghouse is like a side quest or something. Snake's gone. Not in the basement. And not in the loft. So that means the only place left to look is up here. She could be all the way at his grave, keep in mind. Yeah, if you remember, we did pass that on our way here. And here he is. When you left before, you were gone a long time. When you came home, I saw the look on your face and knew you hadn't been working at the livery the whole time. But I didn't think you'd get mixed up with some foolhardy bunch and take on the Saints Little Gang. First your father, now I'm going to lose you. It's all happening again. Another Boot Hill Posse. Another death in this family. Why am I so cursed? Son, promise me you'll stay here with me on the farm. Valentine and those others can go after the Saints Little Gang. The problem with this is he doesn't have a name, so this one isn't too convincing. I have to help save our county. This county is on the brink of war, and I have a chance to stop it. I don't want to face the dangers ahead, but it's what I gotta do. Then there's nothing left I can say. You're breaking my poor heart. A young farm boy with the heavy burden of bringing peace to Bronco County. His father, Sheriff Templeton Howell, saved Bronco County by capturing the evil Coyote Saint. but his dogged insistence on exemplifying law and order left the door open for the Saints Little Gang to rise again 10 years later. Will Kid grow to accept the values of his father, or realize Howl's mistakes and forge his own path in life? I know you're going to be faced with tough decisions. Your father was a stubborn man, but he stood by his beliefs until the end. That man, Valentine, he had his own way of settling things that was different. I don't expect you to be like either of them. You have to become your own person. Remember that every choice you make changes who you are. Ask yourself, what kind of person do you want to become? How do you base your decisions? The next morning, I don't know if you could actually go into her room in the first game or not. Your friends are waiting for you outside. Did you rest well? I'm raring to go to Swellsville. Well, I'll be tagging along again. No need to thank me, it's for your own good. Seeing the trouble you get into, you wouldn't last a hot minute this pup. Without this pup, I think it's supposed to be. So we're going to go ahead and save. And we'll pick up here next time. So we'll go into Swellsville, and our objective is Creed Little. So I'll see you there. I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.